Hi, I'm Susan Kennedy of Pretty Peaceful, and I'm out here in our snowy San Juan National Forest today with my dog Rosie, as usual. And I'm wearing my Santa hat because I wanted to show you a very fast and easy Christmas gift you can make with one cake of Lion Brand Mandala. Actually, it only really requires 2/3 of a cake, so partial cake to a full cake. And the pattern is called the Enlightenment Cowl. And I'm wearing one here. This one is made in the Lion Brand Mandala colorway called Troll. And here I'm holding the colorway called Gnome, the rainbow one everybody loves. So Lion Brand Mandala is a DK weight or lightweight category 3 yarn. And for this pattern we are using a 19mm hook, an S hook. It's huge. That's why this goes so fast. And the pattern itself is just basically a single crochet mesh. You can find the written pattern or digital pattern for this Enlightenment Cowl on Ravelry. It's a free pattern, ravelry.com. And you can also find it on Etsy in the nonprofit shop that I run for the Kentucky Birth Coalition. And they sure appreciate your support. So let's talk about the pattern for a minute. This is originally I made about 4 years ago, but it's one of those things that I wear a lot. So I figured why not come out here and make a video because it really does make a great gift. It's basically a mesh tube, kind of a lace tube. You guys know I love single crochet lace. My laid back lace wrap and my laid back scrap wrap, which I made a video for not too long ago, are also single crochet mesh. But it just makes a really fun texture. It's almost like a honeycomb look to the stitches because you're using such a big hook. And of course, simple stitches look really great with mandala yarn. So, in my opinion. So you can wear it like a cowl. You can also wear it kind of pulled up over your head like a balaclava. If you want to, it doesn't quite work with the Santa hat, but you know, just to kind of cut the wind on your ears if you're out walking. I do wear it most often like a cowl, but I do pull it up over my ears if I'm walking. I get cold and I didn't bring a hat. I mean, because it's just a tube, it's so versatile. You could even wear it around your neck, like folded and tucked down into a coat if you wanted to. So the pattern itself requires about 2/3 of a cake of Lion Brand Mandala yarn. That's about 100 grams or about 400 yards. So this means that you can cut out some colors, or if you have a partial cake left over from another project, you can turn that into this really great gift. And so for example, in this troll version I made here, I cut out the very light pink and the very light kind of seafoam green colors of troll because I just wanted to keep these are all my favorite colors here and not without the distraction of the really bright ones. So for example, if you wanted to use troll but you wanted to cut out kind of this like purple gray and this weird green in the middle that I always cut out on gnome, almost always, then go for it and you can use those for another project. I used the leftovers that I cut out of this in my happy hours blanket, which you can also find the tutorial for here on YouTube. So the pattern is very simple. The written pattern here will walk you through it if you're new to crochet especially. We're going to start by chaining 50, just 50 chains. And you can also foundation single crochet if you prefer because the rest of this project is single crochet. So you chain 50 and you join that into a ring. Then single crochet in each stitch around. And then once you get to the end of that round, just keep going single crochet in rounds all the way up until you're out of all the yarn that you want to use or you've reached about 62 rows. And if you want to use the whole cake, that's fine. It will just result in a fluffier cowl if you use the whole cake of yarn. So I made about 62 rows and that ended up to be about 17 by 31 inches or 43 by 79 centimeters when it's like laid flat into a rectangle, kind of double layer there. So that's it. There's a very simple pattern and I will show you how to get started here because working with a big hook can be a little bit tricky to get the hang of it for the first few rounds. The third page of the pattern has some blocking instructions, which it's not required. You don't have to block it for this pattern. If you do want to block it, basically just get it wet. I put it in my kid's bathtub and get it wet and then put a towel down on the bed or the floor and just lay it out flat and kind of straight. But that, just even the act of getting it wet really helps to open up the lace. I'm going to be very fancy and call this lace even though it's just single crochet. So again, you can find that pattern on Ravelry, and I'll show you how to get started here. Before we get started crocheting the cowl, I want to show you a couple of color options that I think would be really fun. If someone in your life loves rainbows, definitely give the gnome a try. I love this colorway in mandala. Also, if you're making it for someone that loves pinks and hot pinks, this mandala baby and unicorn cloud would be absolutely stunning. And then if you wanted to go for some more neutral colors to match more clothes, Centaur, this would be great for anybody that loves even more neutral colors. This one also Warlock. This is one that like my boys requested whenever I made. It's got a little snow on it. Whenever I made my son's hats and scarves, one of them really liked this color. That's a really good one, Warlock. And then finally I brought out Sphinx, which is another really beautiful blues and grays and some neutrals in there too. So I'm gonna move my camera around so I can find a log to sit on and we can start chaining here. All right, now I'll show you how to actually stitch this cowl here. I'm gonna start with the Centaur colorway, and yes, it did get a little snow on it here, of Lion Brand Mandala and our S 19mm hook here. So we're gonna make a slip knot, however you prefer to make a slip knot, and put it on the hook. I got this hook at Walmart, and it's not a super common size, but it's great for fast gifts like this. So now we're just going to chain 50. So grab the yarn and pull it through 50 times. And this is the slowest part of the whole project, getting this first chain started, because it is a little awkward to use such a big hook with such thin yarn. But just take your time on this first chain row here. Go slow and give yourself lots of slack so you don't pull those chains you made too tight. And we'll keep crocheting till we get to 50 here. I love coming out here to crochet in the snow. The sun is shining here, and my dog Rosie's with me as usual. And I can look around and just see that no humans have walked here yet. I see a lot of animal tracks back here, but no people. And I always love to be one of the first people to hike back here when it snows. So slow and steady up to 50. You know, it could be a little tricky counting these giant chains. It's okay if you're off by one or two. You don't have to pull it out and start over again. 50 is great. Let's aim for that. But if it ends up to be 48 or 49 or 51 or 52, that's fine. It's a very forgiving pattern. Okay, so now we have our 50 chains, and we are going to join them into a ring. So I'm going to find the other end, and don't worry too much about twisting because you can really crochet into any part of this chain. So I'm going to insert my hook back into that first chain that I made and yarn over, pull through. So I'm closing that, connecting the first chain with the 50th chain with a slip stitch there. Then I'll chain one, and this doesn't count as a stitch. It's just to get me up a little higher so I can start to single crochet into each stitch here. So single crochet one into each chain. Get our first row started. And then after that, the single crochet stitches are a little bit bigger and easier to crochet into than a chain. So it does get a little faster. It's just going to be fast no matter what because we have this giant hook. So we'll crochet all the way around until we have 50 single crochets in a ring, in a circle, to make that kind of mesh tube of the cowl. You can go under 2 loops of the chain, you can go under the back bump, however you like to do it. It's a little funny with the big hook like this because the chains do seem like they change size as soon as you touch them. But just keep going. It may look like a hot mess right now, but trust me, it's going to turn out to be a beautiful cowl. And if this is just a little bit too extreme of a big hook for you, feel free to go down a hook size to like 15 or something like that. Thought I heard an owl there for a second. Just listening to the forest out here. Single crocheting. Okay, a few more chains to go to make it all the way around. Okay, so let's take a look at the end of round 1 here. And where do we crochet into? So you have to look for these very loose, big single crochet stitches here from the start of the round, and we're just going to single crochet under the top 2 loops of that stitch. Something happened here. Okay, so I think I got caught up in my tail maybe. Just gonna single crochet into that. We're not gonna slip stitch to join the rounds. We're just gonna keep single crocheting around and around. So now that we single crochet into all the chains, we're starting round 2 here. And it's a little bit easier to kind of pinch and grab and stick the hook into that single crochet. So this is pretty much it. We're just going to keep single crocheting into each stitch around. We're not joining between rounds. We're working in a continuous spiral in the amigurumi technique or method. And keep going until you get to your desired cowl length. So for me, that's 62 rows. You can keep going a little longer to get a fluffier cowl. Or if you don't have enough yarn to get to 62 rows, that's fine. It's just going to be kind of more of a lighter weight, thinner cowl. So I hope you enjoy your cowl, and I hope the people you make it for love it and wear it a lot. And thank you for watching. Happy crocheting.